sides expected to go.
Yes, hello guys, welcome back to the channel Final Whistle. And yes, it is the end of the road for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria in the ongoing under-20 AFCON tournament. As it stands, we have crashed out. Eventually, we are going to play the third place match. Ogochukwu, you're welcome. Ewa, you're welcome. Yeah. How did you see this match? It seems you saw it coming, Ogochukwu.
The truth, no, they hide.
You said it.
You know they hide. They know they play anything. They were not ready. I saw the whole thing, the whole game plan. I knew that these guys, no, man. There's no need to lie to ourselves. These guys are not good enough. We saw it play out in our very eyes. You had the first half. Capitalize on this. Be clinical in front of goal. Put one in the net first. Let us know what was next. We did it. They rub oil. They rub oil. Time don't go now. Your own. The chance they got immediately they capitalized on it, and it was over. It was over, for God's sake. First of all, I think we have a coach. We don't get coach. Yes, we don't have a coach. I've seen this game countless times. We've seen 5 different rotations. This is the 5th game replayed. 5 different rotations. What does it say about the coach? He does not know his team. That's what he said. If you tell him call first level, you don't get. You don't get first level. You want to go final.
Not life in it.
You think God will be mocked? No. You don't know the lie now. You don't expect to play rubbish and you go to the final like that. People will play ball on the way.
But you could just hold on a bit. Anyway, I think you're one of the first people, even before the Flying Eagles kicked any ball in this tournament, that were very critical of the players that this man caught, especially the attack, the midfield, and the defense.
I said it now. I said that there's no way that you have this kind of players that can't make the difference, that are not clinical in front of goal, that can't convert in the final third, and then you expect them to win or to get. They have been getting results, no doubt. But now that you play the better side, it was now very obvious. It was not very obvious. Now look at the first half. 10 shots against South Africa's 2. We could have been 3 or 4 or 5 goals up in the first half. There were so many clear-cut chances. Finish the ball, and then that's the end. Crippled the South Africans inside the first half. This is the list of the games that they should have lost. I'm talking about the Flying Eagles. Because look at the chances that they were getting, and then they showed. And I was saying it. I was saying when I was in this match. I said if care is not taken, the Flying Eagles will be punished for this wastefulness. A lot of wasteful chances in football. If you've been watching football for a while, when a team is very wasteful, the moment the other team gets the chances, they will punish you for it. And it happened today. I said it in the morning. I said 1-0. Those that I don't know which side is going to be on. I'm sure some of our viewers can attest to that. I didn't know the side that it was going to be. Ojuku said it was going to be the South African side, and he was so blunt about it, because this same South African side, look at their group stage performance down to where we met them. Now look at us. It has been from one different formation to another, from one rotation to another, and then the only unconvincing win that we had is just against Tunisia. 1-0. We drew against Morocco. And then we drew. Yeah. We came back by twice. Twice against a team as Kenya that is known for marathon race. And now look at what happened today. First, I think it was painful. Let me go into the match. I think it was painful to have lost this guy halfway into the match. I think it was painful. At that point when I saw him going off, I said there was going to be a problem. And then the young man strode into the field. His name reminded me of one of the problems that we have had even in this country. Yes. The one that conducted an election that didn't eventually put through. We have to run from it. Now look at that goal that he considered. Look at that journey he traveled from. It was a journey now. You left your pool and traveled that ball down to pick a ball which you eventually missed. That your player was already on the player. He would have, if he was in the goal post, he was denied them the South Africans of that goal. But look at what happened. I feel like maybe they didn't plan. It was not part of the plan right from time. They have always focused on our court, and now that he is out, there was no other ways that they can continue. They had to bring in him as a substitute. Now again, Clinton Jetta. Me, I don't know the combination wey dey between that guy and the ground. He was just falling. And I don't understand why. This is like the fourth or fifth match.
He has played every match.
Every match he has started. The coach has trusted you. which was one of the things I'm saying was one of the flaws of Ali Zubairu. He has actually placed trust in some set of players that have used to turn up for him. Look at the attackers that you have gone. Just one goal so far from an attacker out of 10 in this tournament. Just one goal. The other goals that we had has been from defenders and the defensive midfielder. And the defensive midfielder. No, we won't count the sport kicks.
No, you want sport kick.
Yeah, I'm saying a defender. He came from a defender and then the defensive midfielder, Ibrahim Awa and Mbami. They were the ones that scored in this tournament, and just one from your striker out of 10 attackers. And then we have experienced players like Benjamin Precious on the bench that plays for Hoffenheim in Germany on the bench. Now today when you carry my Ghana, we don't shout. You don't see the difference. So you ask yourself, does he know his team at all? Is this how you want to play in Chile when you qualify? That you have qualified for? I'm not sure they're going to leave the group stage if they play like this in the World Cup.
AY, thank you very much. I think a lot of Nigerian football fans don't understand when we just sit and talk about it, because I was just a few hours ago, like you said, Ugochukwu, you were so certain that the match was going to end 1-0 in favor of the South African side. Not that we saw Harcourt coming out of the game in place of Yakubu and everything. I think the bulk of the blame has to go to the manager.
Yes, it is the manager. He does not know his players. I think that sums it up. He does not know his players, because you cannot take if you tell me after 5 games you cannot prepare a proper 11 that would match each side, because you know how your opponent plays, you know their strengths and their weaknesses. If we sit back here to do our due diligence and you as a manager you don't do it, what that make you different from every other Dick and Harry out there? Because I saw certain lapses. Where are you going to what are you going to do to correct that? We talked about April. You see how April ran that flank? You talked about the goalkeeper. How many saves today did the guy make?
Yes,
we saw all these things from far away, but you were there. Let us see. At this point in time, man, I think our football needs revamp, because this is so bad, for God's sake. It's different when the boys play well and they don't get the results. You can now cut them some slack. This was an awful performance for them from game one. And this is not the only tournament we've been fucking up. We went to the Olympics, no medal. We didn't qualify for under 17. This is not. Look at it generally, guys. It's not about football anymore. Everything is a mess. It's a mess. You cannot do the basics. You come to these players, for God's sake. You come with them. You come with them. You cannot see it. Play Benjamin Precious for me with Arieri up front. See when they came in. See when Precious came in. There was more threats. This thing is so painful, because the quality is there. It's just how to utilize it. That's the problem. I saw the South African side for who they were. Do you know in the first half the South Africans were begging for the game to be over, so that they could go and work on themselves, because the pressure was much.
24.2% possession.
We blew that goal. We blew that chance. We blew it, and you expect God to come and do what?
I think you have said it all. Anyway, finally, before we go, any positives to take from this match?
The positives is from this tournament is the fact that we have qualified for the World Cup. I think that's the only thing they can leverage on. We can actually give credit to luck, because there's not. You know what pains me? If we watch these players from afar, we can spot out all of these problems right on time. We've said, how come this team cannot finish in the 18 yard? What is happening? How come they can be aggressive to get the ball back, win the ball back? Now to transit from defense to attack is a problem. And these are I told you that these are the things that the coaches are supposed to teach. These are teachable things. Now you want to talk about it.
You don't get football career.
You know the last time when I said it looked like I didn't know what I was saying. Now I'm talking about the coach, and I think he didn't do like Ogochukwu rightly said. He does not know these players. Let's not forget that he took us to spot Ayuma before Ayuma starting. He started with Ibrahim Awa. Eventually, he resorted back to Ayuma and this guy, Suleiman Alabi Jojo, and then one other guy, and Cletus has went back to. So you saw different rotations. Now this team does not look like a team that has chemistry together. They don't look like a team that come together. And why is it like that? It is because you rotate different. Football is all about combination. See, we saw how Chukwu and Bameyi have been solid partnership. We saw how Okoro and Magari has been. because they've been playing all together all this while. But now you've used like 4 different midfields. You've used like 3 different attackers, wingers. The only person that you have retained is Clifton Jefta, who you have stick to all throughout the match. You've returned Amoli back to the bench. You've tried Magari. You've tried Pagu. You've tried Rick Ross. And we had just 1 goal out of all of those attackers. Just 1 goal. So you can't be like say you do like say try and error. Let's just try this if it's gonna work. Let's just try this if it's gonna work. Let's just try this if it's gonna work. We could have passed that against Senegal because it was a penalty shooter. We didn't. We were just. It was a 15 chance. We were not deserving. Look at the game against Morocco. Look at the game against Tunisia. Look at the game against Kenya. All of the same problem we spotted, that this team is struggling to transit fast. This team is struggling to string passes in the 18-yard of the opponent. This team, you go see person wey go dribble person. Now to pass the ball, you pull the ball at the back of the striker. At the back of the striker. Things that are very hard, they do it easily. The most easy things are the things that are struggling to do very easily. That is, and I said, these boys are, officially, if you remember the first time I said, let us call these boys on plan. They are still young. Because I feel like the errors that they were making, they are teachable errors. They are teachable errors. That is why I will fault the technical team. Yes. That is why I will fault them. Because these are the things that when they get back after the match, you sit them down and you allow them watch the game again. You see them and allow them watch the game again. They pick 1 or 2 errors, then you go over it again. Your ability to support the problem, you have already solved that problem. How come up to this moment you want to qualify to the final and then you are still having the same problem with luck again? See, the truth is, the only positives out of this, as you ask, is the fact that we are qualified for the World Cup, and then maybe we can actually rely on some. Because I'm not going to lie to you. If judging by this tournament, I will not strike my heart out to say one person is out to promote to the Super Eagles. Maybe 1 or 2. The rest, out of 23-man squad, I'm not sure they deserve to still remain in this order at 27.
Well, guys, I know you guys are disappointed. I'm telling you, I'm disappointed. So many disappointing names today. You mentioned Rick Ross. You mentioned
and then to now capital. There was nothing coming from the bench. It was just so cold, and it has always been like that to Gochuku. You understand that kind of thing. That okay, maybe these players. There was nothing going on. There was nothing going on the touchline. It was just so cold. I see we were leading 4-5 goals.
The South African coach was up throughout the game, especially the first half when his team was facing a lot of fire. He was telling them what to do. Just did they look.
Ugochukwu, you have said it all. You have said it all. I know if I keep you guys, you still have more to say.
The truth is, as he exactly said, that revamp we Erichie want to do for Spike. It's not be. I think they are football sector because he remembered me. He reminded me. We went to the Olympics without anything to show for it. Super Falcons now, there's nothing going on there. Under 17 did not qualify for the last AFCON. Under 20, look at the under 20 that we used to believe in. The dream team that we used to, where they always give us joy. The players who want to shoot, I said, look at how they crashed out. Now look at how they crashed out with shambolic performance with luck. Now we are not even certain that the Super Eagles will qualify for the World Cup. So what are we hoping for? What are we hoping for? There's nothing official.
Well, there's nothing. You have said it all. I won't lie to you. Disappointing performance so far. Disappointing tournament as a whole for the Flying Eagles. A lot of Nigerian football faithful and fans are not convinced of these performances. And like I said, football don't lie. Football don't lie. If you keep getting lucky, one day, football will show the true colors. And deservingly, South Africa deserve to win because we were not clinical enough, especially in the first half, to have sealed off the game. Well, the boys did their bit. The only positive from the tournament, as AY said, is that they qualified for Chile under 20 World Cup. Hopefully, they get to fix themselves before that tournament so that we can see better performances in that aspect. But at least you really let us down on this one. Hopefully, you can change your tactic if you are still with the job. Well, that's our time. Feel free to the comment section and share your opinion concerning this fixture you just seen. We'll see you guys.